ready?
Yeah, I'll go Rassie.
Jack?
You all smiles there. Were you excited? And how are your emotions sitting there now, the day before departure?
No, well, we're definitely excited. I think we've spoken a lot about it through the week. We're excited. We had 2 really good training sessions. No injuries, luckily, so far. And those 2 training sessions, always nervous about that before you get onto the plane. It went well, the training sessions, but we're also nervous, we're getting onto that plane and we know what we're supposed to go and do on that side, and so we're excited, nervous, but we want to get on that plane now. The week feels really long now, so we can't wait to get on that plane.
You're confident that you've done everything that you could have done and every box has been ticked?
Yeah, I think the planning was in place. I think all the support we could have got, both from media, sponsors, from admin-wise, from fans, from everything was in place, so we can't moan about that. I think the players played their part. I think conditioning-wise, I think really if we don't do well, it's only our own fault. So I think everything is in place. The trick is now to go and produce on that side, and I guess that will only show in the results. But we've got a tricky one in the first one, which is Japan, and I know a lot of people would think, listen, it's going to be an easy hurdle to get over, but I think they're almost ambushing us on that side, because they're really well organized, and we'll play a away test match in front of a full house with a Japanese team who beat us last time, so we're a bit nervous for that first one also.
What do you hope to accomplish still before the game against New Zealand? What do you still think?
With the Japan game?
Japan game preparation order.
Oh, well, there's a few things. First of all, getting guys like Sia 100%, match ready to try and get him get through 80 minutes. There's a few other guys, guys like Franz Stein, who we slowly got into the mix, getting him to go full 80 if he has to. There's other guys who has little injury niggles which you have to get through. There's some game-specific things which you have to rectify, like the scrums were better, line-outs we have to improve a little bit. I thought the breakdowns were really good. So there's different things in our game-specific. Then there's personnel stuff which you have to get right. So a lot of boxes that we still have to tick, which the Japan game obviously help us to achieve that, but also the Japan game can also, in terms of injuries, be a little bit of a worry, because I think we're the last team that plays the last warm-up game before the actual tournament starts. So if we do get injuries there, it will be very close to the tournament. So I guess that's one bit of a worry which is in the back of my head.
How far are you from identifying the 15 or I guess 23 for that first game against the All Blacks, and how much will that differ from the team that plays Japan?
I think the 2 teams that will play against Japan and against the All Blacks, barring injury, would be pretty much the same teams. Apart from if somebody really now in the Japanese game against them play really bad or lose form or get an injury, the plan is to play in form strongest possible team against Japan to get some rhythm before we play the All Blacks, because then there's a nice 2-week break. But obviously nobody can be complacent and just breeze through that game and not play well and expect to play the next game again. So we're pretty sure what that team is going to look like, but we'll only announce that on Sunday for the boys, so they can still train hard.
Rassie, speaking of the All Blacks, what did you make of their World Cup squad? There were some interesting omissions there.
Yeah, I looked at their squad, and as a coach, I think what their coach is also going through, it's tough to select a World Cup squad, especially if you've got players who's got niggling injuries, and especially if you've got players who's over 30 in your squad. I've just experienced it previously that in a World Cup, if you've got a lot of players who's over 30, you really have to manage your squad well, especially in short turnaround times. And I look at their squad age, there's quite a few who's over 30, and then you have a guy like Retallick in there, which is such an important player for them, and I guess he's going to be fit somewhere in the tournament. So, we had issues like that with a guy like Sia, which we had to get fit. And if he didn't play against Argentina and he didn't get through that game, I would have worried to take him to the World Cup, because where do you play him actually fit? So I think they have a really strong squad they're taking there. If Retallick gets through the games and they get him match fit, and those players over 30 don't have those niggling injuries held, they've got an experienced squad, and they'll they'll be the team to beat at the World Cup.
Yes.
Rassie, in terms of the Herschel Yankees, is a game changer. He's a guy that you bring on and changes the outcome that we've seen. What's the plan for him during this World Cup? Because he's played his way into the World Cup.
Yes, definitely. I think if you go and look at previous World Cups, we were at a function the other night and they showed 1995 and 2007, the highlights. I think we all must remember World Cups is not this spectacular thing where it's 45, 35, it's 15, 12. It's close games, and you will definitely play a big role. But also your 9-10 combination. I don't think there's a World Cup ever been won with a flyer that's younger than 24 years old. I think every single flyer was 25 years and older. So that pivotal role 9 and 10 is very important. So with having Kobus there and Herschel and Faf, all three of them will play. But Faf is the first choice at this stage, and he will start. And Herschel knows that, and Kobus knows that. But Herschel will play a big role, and he makes an impact when he comes on. But Faf is the first choice at this stage.
Rassie, can you please explain a little bit on Felix Jones's involvement with the coaching staff? I know the statement said that he's coming on as a defence consultant. And how tempted were you to get a like replacement for Swayze? I know the statement said that the players were comfortable with the attacking structure that was introduced by Swayze. So it's a little bit on Felix Jones and how tempted were you to get a like for that?
Yeah, I must maybe apologize in the way I've phrased the press release. It's my fault there. If it came across as a defence consultant, he's actually going to analyze opposition defence structure. So his job will be to look at opposition defence, how do they defend, and where's their weaknesses in their defence, where we can actually attack. So when I discussed that with the players in Bloemfontein, we discussed and said, listen guys, we felt our attacking structures are in place, and anyway the last 2 test matches between myself and Sticks, we anyway coached the attack with the players. So the players just felt if we have somebody who especially knows the Northern Hemisphere teams really well, Ireland, Scotland, those kind of guys who we're going to play hopefully when we get to quarterfinals, semi-finals, England, get somebody who can analyze their defensive systems and we can make the plans ourselves. So another pair of eyes obviously. Then I worked with him at Munster for 2 years. He was that attacking coach there. We had 83% win record and we really attacked well. So he's also a good attack coach anyway, and I know him. We don't have to convince him of how we want to play and those kind of things, and he'll really slot in well with the boys. So that was the thinking behind that.
Sia, one can imagine that the Erasmus era has been pretty much a build-up to the World Cup. So everything that you guys have been doing under the coach has been just focused on Japan 2019. And I mean, if you look at your guys' performance in the Rugby Championship as well as up to that success, it builds up to what you guys are going to do up in Japan. But do you then reset when you get to Japan and forget about what you guys have done? Not necessarily forget, but just not really focus on what you guys have done under Rassie. Do you take all of that build up and all that preparation and use that as some sort of motivation perhaps, or something that you can use to learn from when you go down for the World Cup?
I think we're definitely going to build on what we've worked on, but we know as a team that everything we've achieved until now, we have to start fresh when we get to Japan, and a World Cup is completely different tournament. Every single team actually pitches up, and we've learned that obviously in Japan. So we will have to make sure we pitch up each and every single time. And regarding our system and everything, we're building on it. Obviously, we're not going to start fresh, and coach might add 1 or 2 new things now, every now and then. But everything else that we've worked on, we'll definitely be building on it.
See, a lot of talk surrounding your captaincy and how proud you are and how excited you are. But just how are you feeling playing wise? And how much confidence did you actually gain from quite a busy 50 minutes against Argentina? I'm feeling really good. To be honest, like Coach said, I was really worried about the time. I was under a lot of pressure. I mean, obviously for myself and watching the other guys play. But the great thing is that I was with the squad until they left, until Coach kept me with the rest of the team. So I was watching the plays, I was in meetings, so I was quite involved. but it was just a waiting period, seeing how the knee holds up, and it held up very well. And yeah, I was obviously not the best, but I was happy with the way I played against Argentina. But like coach said, and I also saw like I need a little bit more, and these past couple of weeks have been helping training wise, and we've got next week and the week after 2 more weeks, and I think I'll get to where I need to be.
Rassie, just I know you said at the squad announcement that you would look at a couple of Currie Cup games, and I know it's the semi-finals this weekend. How close are you to finalizing getting this?
Yeah.
For guys that might break down a program?
Yeah, look, the guys that was with us, like Lizo and Thomas and Marvin and Reinhard Elstedt and Marcel, unfortunately had that injury, and then help me, Andre Esterhuizen, all of those guys, I'm missing one, but all of those guys that were with us, they got kitted,
Dylan maybe.
Yeah, and Dylan, those guys have been kitted, so they're definitely on standby if we do get an injury, and they know our place and those kind of things, so they're ready if we do get an injury, and we've got 48 hours when we're there to get those guys on a plane and get them there. But there's other positions where I want to see a guy like Damian Willems, unfortunately they now finished, but I think he's going to go on loan across on that side. If he gets proper game time and he gets through 1 or 2 games, he might come on standby, so at this stage those 5-6 guys are definitely there, but there's still a few other. Skara, if Skara can get some more game time somewhere, he'll be on standby for us, so it'll be an evolving list.
So yeah, lots been said this week, a lot of excitement this week. Have you taken a moment to just let it sink in and about how big this moment is as well?
Yeah, to be honest, we've been quite busy this week and working really hard, and obviously with all that's happening, I know I've just been trying to focus on the rugby, which is the main thing for us. But I think I'll probably have a moment in the plane tomorrow and get on the plane when I can relax, and I think I'll take it in. I'm not a man that I really like focusing on my game and making sure that speaks louder than anything else, and that's the most important thing. But yeah, it is big, and it is a huge honor for all of us as a team. And I think tomorrow when we have time off and you can sit by myself in the plane, I'll think I'll definitely have a moment and think about it.
So yeah, just going back to your leadership role, how much does it ease you up knowing very well that you've got an army behind you who are just have this kind of same leadership capabilities? There's a period where Rassie kind of just gave the captaincy to some of the other players during this time. So knowing this time, yes, you're the captain, but you've got an army behind you. How much does that ease you up knowing you've got the quality behind you, an army that has the same leadership qualities?
It gives me a lot of confidence. I think I said that the first conference when coach named me as captain, and I know the guys are always willing to help, and the most important thing to us is the team, to make sure that we do well. And for me, I have no ego whatsoever, and when someone is better at a place than me, I allow them to do that. And it's the same with the coaching as well. Whenever we're working on whatever plays and stuff, or coach has a plan and player come up with something else, we'll say, okay, cool, let's change it, let's make that work. So we have that kind of spirit in the team and culture where we make use of one another's strong points. So I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, and anybody, and there's a lot of leaders in the team, and anybody will be leads, and we're willing to back each other. The biggest thing for us is to make sure that we perform, and we make sure that we encourage each other to be ourselves on the field, and the guys will definitely help me.
So yeah, just on that idea of having an army behind you and having that support structure, and what you mentioned on Monday about the coach telling you to just focus on your game. You can't run away from the fact that the title of captaincy is with you, and that scrutiny will be a lot on you and less on perhaps a Beast and Dawa leader, for example. Do you think this competition will define your career as a leader, will define your career as a rugby player? Do you think that this is where people will look at you and see whether or not Sia is what the world has always thought Sia to be, whatever that might be?
Oh, we're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see. But obviously, I'm gonna have to. If it comes to tight calls, obviously I'm gonna have to make those calls. And I know for a fact the coach will back me. And if I need advice, I'll speak to the group, but I know I will have to answer afterwards. But at the end of the day, yeah, I will definitely have to make the calls, but I'm not scared of that. I mean, that's why I was put in this position in the first place.
Rassie, there's a lot of focus on the All Blacks game. Good luck, I suppose. Can you just give us a word on some of the other teams the Boks will play in the first group?
Yeah, I think you're spot on. It's a good question. I think the All Blacks game is hell of important, but I think the Italy game is a slippery one, which, you know, if you obviously want to win the All Black game, but if you lose the Italy game, I think then you're really in trouble. And we've seen in the past, we have lost against Italy in the past, if you think about, I think 2 years ago. So, and they've pushed teams really close to the last couple of years. And I actually think that's a really important pool game if you think about it that way, because I think Canada and Namibia, I think we should beat them. And I think Italy is the slippery one where I think they're sitting waiting for us. I think they plan to upset us. I think if I were them, I'll be looking at our pool thinking, okay, New Zealand will be tough to beat. They think they can beat Canada, they can beat Namibia. If they want to go through, I'll go really hard for South Africa. So I think that will be the pool game which they will target. So that might be our slippery one which we'll have to sort out.
Just pre-tournament, I think also on Ian's question, Japan also might pose quite a stiff challenge, particularly if you say that you're aiming to play something close to your stronger side for the Japan game. Yeah. And Jamie Jones has come out to say that he wants to play an unstructured and very attacking game. How wary are you about Japan? And of course, the past World Cup where we lost to them.
No, without a doubt. Look at that. We've got that tag around our neck. We have to accept it. We lost against them. Last time we played them. And look, the fact is, it's half of our management team flew over this morning, and one of our logistic members flew on Tuesday already. And everybody has told us about the humidity there and how slippery the ball is and how tough it is to handle the ball there. And a lot of our players has played in Japan, luckily, and Matthew Peralta would also have coached in Japan. And everybody's telling us how tough it is to play there at this time of the year. And now already JJ, the guys flew over on Tuesday, has told us it's unbelievably humid and hot and sweaty, and we also similar to this week the training with the wet ball, and I think it's going to be a massive challenge because the way they play is that they make it unstructured and loose, and the scrums is not a contest, ball is in and out, there's not a lot of line outs. It's almost like a touch rugby game that they play, which obviously doesn't suit us. We've got big forwards. We like the confrontation of getting into mauls, getting into scrums. We like to build through phases. We're a structured team, so it's going to be a nice test for us in terms of how we can handle that 2 weeks before we play the All Blacks, because the All Blacks also sometimes like to loosen it up. So, and then having a referee who's going to be under pressure. I think it's Nick Berry who's going to referee that game in front of our home crowd who's hosting the tournament. So no, big pressure and a big match against a team who they think they can beat us on that specific day. It's going to be a good challenge.
This is a question for you both. What do you think the Springboks' biggest strength is going into this tournament?
Obviously, I think our pack has done well, obviously, scrum-wise, and obviously with the line-outs also pretty well. So set piece, so like you said now, especially playing against Japan the first game, we know they want to keep it unstructured, and we're very good in structure. So we have to stop the fact that we mustn't get carried away and want to play that game. I think that's how we lost it the last time, because I was part of that team. I felt like we bought into what they wanted to do, and we wanted to play. We didn't do our normal mauling, get a penalty maul, get to 3 points, and I think that's something we have to respect them and make, because they really do deserve respect. And yeah, we're just going to have to keep to our structures and stick to our systems.
Our strength of the team, I think the specific squad is, I'm not going to talk game plan wise, I'm going to talk squad wise. I've been part of a few World Cup squads. I think there's 31 fit guys, all of them are fit, conditioned well, medically fit, and all of them can go a full 80. You know, I think Sia is probably the guy that will get there now for that first test match. All 31 of them are training, none of them are sitting out. I think we can lift the intensity, and we can go toe to toe with conditioning wise and intensity wise with the top teams in the world, and I think that will always give you a chance. Where I felt in the past, we were a team that dropped off the last 10-15 minutes against the All Blacks or teams like that, and I think the moment you've got a team that can do that, then it's a matter of getting the tactics right, and I think we're slowly getting the tactics right, but because this is a fit, youngish team who's all fit and ready to go, I think that's our strength at this stage.
Dennis?
Rassie, daar was een different verwikkeling in die ewig saak. Mense het eigenlijk net gesê, hy was vroeger die dag ook betrokken by die seiljag, by woordewisseling en so. Het julle enigszins communicatie gehad van die polisie, is daar klagtes geleid teen hom, en is jy ook bang dat dit dalk 'n afleiding sal wees, dalk kans dat hy dalk sal terugvlieg uit Japan?
Can he answer that in English first and then okay, English first?
Yeah, sure.
Because I think that question probably.
But you understood the question?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to give you an update anyway on Eben. Look, I firstly want to say is, from my side, is look, as a player, as one of our players, obviously there's a player-coach relationship, and there's trust between a coach and a player, and I just want to give you that point of view. So when something like that happens, I just want to get that off my chest. And because there's a lot of things said on social media, not just about Eben, but about a lot of players which we have to handle daily. A lot of things get said and emails get thrown to us about a lot of players which you guys sometimes don't even know about, which we just ignore because it's sometimes just nonsense. Obviously this specific one has now become a real big thing, but as I said Monday in the release, you know, I have to believe what the player tells me because we've got a relationship, you know, and until something else are proven differently, only then we can act. And the update I can give you, which I've only heard this morning, is that there was a complaint at the Human Rights Commission, and Eamon and Eugene, our player welfare, player affairs managers with him there this afternoon. They're in discussion with the Human Rights Commission on exactly what the claim is, but there's no police or any other thing that we've heard. We just heard that there's a complaint at the Human Rights Commission, and he's actually there this afternoon, but I have no update because it's actually happening right now.
Rassie, just quickly on the composition of the squad, was it a little bit easier to pick the squad, especially forwards, given the fact that Peter Steph excelled very well in the blindside role over the last 18 months, as opposed to probably the first sort of year that he played blindside? Did that give you a little bit more room to sort of blood a guy like Erasmus, to give him that international experience where he can now sort of could be considered world class, and you've got four really good options at top?
Yes, I think probably some of you are going to laugh when I say this to you, but with the squad we have currently, you know, even a guy like Skalk Brits can, and some of the games where we can manage our players a little bit, because think about it, I'll get to your answer now on the locks, but on some turnarounds it's only 4 or 5 days in the World Cup where you can't have Sia playing and Peter Steph playing and Dwayne playing, and so you have to rest somewhere, and you don't want to put them on the bench even for the next game. So the composition of the squad is like that some games they can totally rest. So a guy like Skalk Brits might even play 8th man in some of the games, you know. So that's why we went with four locks, and I think the way Peter Steph played definitely helped us. He can even move to lock sometimes, but because he plays so well at flank, it would be stupid to move him to lock now, you know. And because Erasmus played so well when he went to lock, it would just be a stupid idea. But if we do get a lot of injuries now, you can anytime move him to lock Peter Steph, because he gives you the same output which he does but we don't have to do it at this stage.
Okay, so we go to Afrikaans quickly if you want.
Yeah.
Okay, right, where do we start? You can ask the question in English, it's fine, and then Rassie will respond in Afrikaans. That's okay?
Okay, I'll start. So Rassie, in Afrikaans, basically your thoughts this week, you guys are ready to go to that plane?
Ja, die week is, ons het baie goeders gedoen in die week wat nie rugby goeders was nie, ons het net 2 oefeninge gehad, 2 goeie oefeninge gehad, lekker intense oefeninge gehad, sonder enige beserings wat great is. Dat baie ander goeders gedoen wat ek moet sê baie goed gereël was en was lekker, was goeie vibe in al die funksies wat ons gedoen, van die sponsors, die media, alles was regtig goed georganiseer. So, die week het bietjie lang begin voel en ons sien baie uit om die vliegtuig te wees. Die manne is opgewonde, maar ons is lekker senuweeagtig ook, jy weet, ons weet, die Rugby Championship is nou voorbij, ons het het nou geniet, het was nou lekker, ons het nou so'n bietjie krediet gekry vir dit, maar ons morgen op die vliegtuig en dan wacht Japan vir ons daar, so allemaal weet die tag wat ons om ons nek het van, ons het laatst hulle verloor en allemaal wil ons moet goed doen in die wereldbeker nou, so ons is lekker senuweeagtig, maar ons beplanning is in plek en ons wil nou by veld kom en gaan begin speel, jy weet, ons wil nou op die vliegtuig klim.
En
Evans update hoor. Ja, ek wil net vinnig herhaal wat ek vir die ander mense gesê het, in terme van Eben, wil ek net sommer in die algemeen sê, daar gebeur soveel kere as 'n Springbok afrigter of as 'n provinsiale afrigter, word daar goeders vir jou e-pos of vir jou gestuur of iets gesê op social media, baie keer reageer jy nie eers nie, want daar is soveel goeders wat mense baie keer sê oor 'n speler, wat jy nie eers reageer op nie, en hierdie Eben is 'n tipiese voorbeeld, die speler en die coach het mos 'n verhouding, jy weet, hy trust jou en jy trust hom, so elke keer as iemand iets sê, kan jy nie reageer nie, want praat jy ou nie nonsens aan die ander kant toe, of is dit die waarheid of nie, en ek ken nie die persoon aan die ander kant nie, so ek gaan altyd die speler eers glo, en ek het met Eben gesit en na sy storie geluister, en dit maak vir my sin, en ek glo vir Eben, en tot en met daar iets anders, weet, verkeerd bewys word, gaan nou nie optree nie, en dit was die hele tyd die geval nog gewees in die week, maar ek het nou vandag gehoor dat, alhoewel gister vir Eben, daar is 'n klag by die Human Rights Commission ingedien, en Eben en Eugene, ons player affair manager, is vanmiddag by die Human Rights Commission, hulle is in bespreking daar, ek sê presies seker wat gaan nou gebeur, wat bespreek hulle en wat gaan nou uitkom nie, want hulle is nou weer besig daar, en ek het dit eers so rukkie terug gehoor, en dan sal ons seker weer vir julle update kan gee.
Coach, if you could just also give us the idea behind Felix's appointment and what his role is exactly going to be for the team out in Japan.
Ja, seker. Ek dink ek moet eers om verskoning vir die manier wat ek miskien die bewoording gegee het van Felix se aanstelling. Hy is nie verdedigingsafrigter nie. Hy gaan nie die opponente se verdedigingsstrukture gaan hy vir ons ontleed om ons te kyk waar is hulle swakpunte, en vir al die noordelike halfrondspanne soos Engeland, Skotland, Ierland wat ons moontlik in die play-offs gaan speel. So hy gaan meer hy gaan nie selfe werk as Jacques Nienaber doen nie. Hy gaan meer die oppositie se defensive structures analyseer, en ek het met hom gewerk by Munster vir 2 jaar, ek ken hom goed, die spelers voel dis wat ons nodig het in die span, so weet, ek ken hom, ek gaan hom nie hoef te oortuig oor hoe ons oefen, nog 'n nuwe paar oor in die span, so ek dink dis iemand wat baie goed gaan inskakel in die span.
Thank you very much, baie dankie.